Presented by the fabulous Heartstrings Theatre, who brought you Urinetown earlier this year. I must sing, and it is the Hello Girls.
Well, this is an Australian premiere production, which is very exciting. So tell us a bit about the Hello Girls.
Hello Girls. Well, it's funny, I was talking in the forum, like, who decides to be a producer? Who does that? And I think sometimes, like, I didn't even know this show existed, but it is based on a true story around the American soldiers, female American soldiers, who went to the front lines in France during World War I. There were 277 of them. When the war ended, they were not considered veterans of the war. They didn't receive any of the recognition, any of the status that all of the men got. And in 1977, the US Congress granted them veteran status. And Grace Banker, who led the women, received a distinguished medal for her contribution during the war, but was not a veteran, of course. And in 1977, 33 of them lived to be able to take home their veteran status. And I think as a producer, sometimes you go, there are stories that need to be told. Yeah. There are women's stories that need to be told. And when Jason Langley said to me, oh, do you know the Hello Girls? And I went and I looked at it and I went, this one. This is the story. It is joyous. The music is exceptional. It was written in 2018, so it's very contemporary, but it also looks back. It's warm, it's nostalgic, it looks back at a time period before us, but it also looks forward at what we want in our world now, and what's going to happen, and what is your part in what happens next.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
It is a stunning production, and we're very, very glad to be able to come and see it. So we know what to expect from your production, but what should our audiences expect to see on stage?
I mean, super women.
Yes, and front is power.
Incredible music. The score. Originally, it had many musicians and actors, and we do have a couple of actors who play music in this show, but mostly it is about, I think, there's nothing better than giving voice to stories that need to be told. And the women in this production, and the person who may be here in preparation to sing for you tonight, particularly plays the role of Grace Banker, who was the woman who led the charge, who really thought that when they needed to get to the front lines, she had the support of her superior officer. And it turns out she did not. So you're about to hear 20, which is, am I too early? Did I preempt that?
No, you can go right ahead.
Great.
You're doing our job. All right, so now just take it. That's good. Yeah,
right.
Do it.
All this time, you've been saying that General Pershing was the one who was keeping us here. But it's you. You're the one who's been holding us back.
I meant what I said. There's no good reason you need to be...
You can't think of any good reason my team ought to go to the front. I can't for the life of me understand why you would say that. Because I could have given you reasons. We are ready and up to the task. If you wanted reasons, you only had to ask. I'll give you one. Suzanne, show me a soldier in the trenches filled with as much resolve and fighting spirit. I'll give you two. Louise, find me an army man whose French is anywhere near as good. I'd love to hear it. I'll give you three. Bertha, level-headed Bertha, who somehow keeps those cranky colonels calm. I'll give you four. Helen, tender-hearted Helen, for frightened boys in battle, she's a bomb. I'll give you five. A leader who knows it isn't right to leave the best team on the bench when a victory's in sight. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good reasons why I'll fight. Oh, I know you twice the work on half the rations. And then there's this. Point 12, snap the man and he will get surly. Women know how to regulate their passions. I'll give you 13, we're cooler under pressure.